At Smart and Relentless, we've got another incredible faith-based testimony for you. This time, the story is about a British multimillionaire entrepreneur who died for 2 minutes before being resurrected by the Lord. Glenn Templin, a former football club owner, revealed in an interview with Anything Goes with James English that his financial wealth wasn't enough to keep him happy, leading him to turn to drugs, which he used day and night. His depression and cocaine addiction led to an overdose in which he's stated to have had an out-of-body experience before being pronounced dead by the paramedics. It was at this moment that he encountered Jesus, who appeared to him and told him that his time on earth was not yet up, and that he needed to fulfill his purpose. Here is the testimony.
I've ended up sitting in the caravan down the bottom, like that, letting my nose bleed because I wanted to bleed to death. And my wife walked in on me. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Dying." And there must have been 2 litres of blood on the floor. I'd gone white. And she called an ambulance and I tried to run away because I didn't want to live. The ambulance got here and it worked out I'd had a brain hemorrhage because obviously it was always going to come. But it found its way out of my nose. So if I hadn't had that blockage, I would have died because it would have stuck
Straight
up
to
here
your
and it would have
brain,
been
yeah.
dead. The blockage this time saved my life, but I got it out because I wanted to sniff another line of gear. Mm-hmm. That's why I got it out. Mm-hmm. And it saved my life because the blood found a way out. So that was, but then by the time they got here, I was passed out on the floor. They couldn't bring me round, but I was passed out. I wasn't dead.
Yeah.
And they reckon they lost me for about 30 seconds, but they got me back. That was nothing to do with God that way. It probably was, but it wasn't at the time. So that was once. The second time when I overdosed was in my house. I've been on about a 20-day bender. And what I do is, which I'll refer back to earlier, I would ease myself down. So if I was doing, it sounds terrible, but I was doing sometimes, and people are going to think I'm lying. I'm not proud of what I've done. I would buy Coke in ounces. And I would do an ounce every 3-4 days. Mm. Now, when you count that over 3-4 weeks, you've done 4 ounces on your own. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Forget the financial implications, the health implications. So what I would do is I would go, right, okay, I'm going to make this last. And I would literally put 4 days or 5 days down, going down slowly, but I would sniff aspirin with it to thinner my blood, or chew aspirin. I would chew aspirin. Then in the end, my dad had problems with his heart. I'd nick his spray. I'd spray him the thing. My mum had problems with her arteries, so I'd nick her statin. I'd nick that. All these things I know have kept me alive. But I was self-medicating to keep alive, trying to do it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in the end, I had an angina attack, which I don't know how to word it properly, but it turned into a heart attack, or the angina attack killed me, but whatever it was. And the cold sweats were so much that they couldn't get the ECG on me. And I'd run out of my spray. I was going, spray, spray, spray. They're going, and the ambulance are going, "You can't have spray until we get your heart readings." I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it, and they couldn't treat me because they couldn't get the ECG. Because every time the water was washing it off, I died. They pronounced me dead. And the next thing I see is, and this is on my 7 children's life, this story. This was when I had, this was my rock bottom. And thank the Lord, his son came and saved me. I'm looking at my wife, she's cuddling the telly, and I forgot what's gone on. And go, "What's the matter, babe? What's going on?" We're crying and crying, like uncontrollably crying. Now I'm upstairs. "Bliss, why are you ignoring me? Bliss!" And then behind me, it's almost like these camera lights. I can feel this light getting brighter behind me. And I'm thinking, "Oh, it's the old Bill, bless you." Turn round and there's Jesus, full on, in the form of an ultraviolet light, but not bright. And there was so much space and so much peace and so much serenity. Don't take me, Lord, but I can't wait to go there. It was amazing. And I can only talk like this now at this level because I'm thinking about that. And he took my hand, he started, didn't drag me, it was lovely. It was like, first time I felt real love. Although I did feel real love from Bliss and my kids. This was a different kind of love. This was a spiritual love. And he started walking around thinking, what's going on here? Then all of a sudden we went out the door. And it come to me, I remembered where I was. And I was like, I'm dead. was going, no, Lord, please. I was begging him. Don't take me. You haven't given me all these kids to leave them fatherless. Please don't take me. He literally turned, looked at me and said, will you fulfill your purpose, son? In such an amazing voice. I said, I promise you, Lord, I'll fulfill my purpose. I promise you. I'll do anything. Mm-hmm. Well, next minute, I know I'm back in my body, but the problem is now all the pain's back, all the suffering's back.
Hatred, anger.
All back. So, but that was the point I got well and stopped. But then they booked, so I was back. So then when I went downstairs, Bliss come running downstairs, because it was the old death thought, the old breath come back in my lungs. I was downstairs, Bliss come running down, all of a sudden I said to Bliss, where's your teddy? All groggy. She was like, what do you mean? And the ambulance guy said, it's okay, they hallucinate when they die. Bliss went, no. And so I said, no, Bliss, she was Teddy from Clinton's, he was cuddling and crying upstairs. And then the Lord come and saved me. And then Bliss went, how do you know that? And the other bloke who was there was about 6 ambulance people there, but there was a couple of women and 4 men. He said, he was a believer. He said, you had a visitation. The Lord, he saved your life, son, because you was dead. You was dead. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I've met the Lord, so I know there is a higher power. Mm-hmm. And he saved my life. From that day when I had this tattoo, that's when I committed my whole life to helping others.